Whew. It's great to be here once again with everyone. This is the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge. Hello to all the multidimensionary beings out there. You've reached your host, the Cosmic Messenger, and on this thread of these videos, we just explore everything multidimensional living, what it means when people are having wild ascension, awakening moments, and raising their frequency bands as Earth is very much changing, and the way we perceive reality is multidimensional. So we kind of run through various topics and kind of make sense of what is going on. I don't know about all of you lately, but it's been incredibly potent in terms of feeling all of these plasmatic-like energies, especially as we start to enter into the summer months. Just like later spring's kicking in, obviously, but as it starts to warm up more and more and more, that energy exponentially increases in terms of like people out and about on the streets and getting activated and the whole bit. So today, I had a wonderful question from somebody online that asked me to speak a little bit more about time travel. So I wanted to touch base with you all today, and remember that Saturn's in retrograde right now for a very long time, and the first day that kicked in, I was running into authority stuff all over the place, delivering a couch, boom, there's an ambulance, here's the police kind of rushing in another scenario when I was picking up, I was actually moving that day, so I was picking up the vehicle to assist with that, and of course somebody in the lineup, and then that's going on. It was just a wild, fantastical time. But very serious things do occur sometimes too, as we're acting out this giant story that is life. So, time travel, what is it? How does it work? What does it mean? Now, we're at a place right now where we have so much more to explore and lots more to do in terms of our complete understanding of what this really means. Now, if you're wondering what we think of time travel as somebody taking their body right now and then teleporting it to another time and space. Okay, so every single time that you have any version of astral traveling, particularly in past life experiences, future lives, you are bringing parts of your consciousness and parts of your energy field and yourself. You are time warping to that exact location and time. So say your past life was what we call on our very crazy calendar right now in clock system 300 BC. So you just went there through doing your past life stuff. It's not a maybe that you went there. It wasn't just your imagination. You literally went there. So at the same time, if somebody flies to Mars going, let's say, the speeds of our rocket ships can go right now, from that perspective as well, you come back. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's either younger or older depending on how fast you go. It may be minutes, it may be hours, depending on the distance. So if you just travel to 300 BC and you come back, the time signature may not be exactly what you think it is. So you're let's say you're having a wild, crazy, fun night, and you're so in the moment. And you look up at everybody all around. You're like, "Whoa, what just happened? The whole evening. I thought the whole evening, like the whole evening. Wow, it's gone. It's only been 1 hour. What?" Or the reverse effects of it too. So anytime you're like, "Wow, that felt like a million years, but it was only 5 minutes." You sped up time with your energetic field. You slowed down time depending on the equation that your subconscious ultra mind wanted to do. And if you look at the clocks as we all know them, collectively agreement, no, that's not going to state it on there. But very much, you've just altered time right there. So if everybody's doing this all the time throughout the day, and they're all intermixing, what does that tell you right there? Time's quantum. It's always ever changing. It's always ever flowing, merging and moving. So even the time signature that we think we're going to may not even be exactly what it is. But because, you have the coordinates, you can arrive at some sort of version. And when you get there, the other question is, do you alter the past, future, and present? Well, if it's all happening simultaneously in and now, then you're always constantly alternating it. We're changing it all the time. So if it's always changing, Or if it wasn't always changing, then it wouldn't be a fresh experience. So you can go back to these places and enjoy them over and over again. Now, when your spirit guides or your higher self, astral twin, or other beings, even in physical form, come landing down on this planet, or they come to you, let's say ascended masters, they can help so many people all at the same time. Angelic beings that have done so much work that they have now risen themselves up to a level where they become they operate in a different dimension. Now, if I'm calling on an ascended master to come assist myself, ones that society's labeled them as, ones that you've discovered on your own, and they come and help me, but somebody else is asking at the same time, and they're helping them too. So there's time warping, time traveling going on in an instant as well. So we're always kind of experiencing it wherever we're going and whatever we're doing. The more you slow down time, the more you have space to enter all of the, I'll call them the particles, all of the atoms, all of the makeup that makes the web of the multiverse. And you're able to go through them. The best example I can give is somebody's playing footbag, hacky sack, and they're doing a series of moves. And that game's really fast, it's intense. And then all of a sudden, you pull something off like you never had before, and you fit a couple more moves in there. And you just slowed down time so that you were able to integrate more and see more in the process. Because our eyes are only operating at a certain frame rate, though our vision does much more than what we've been told. Now, in terms of literally having technology that can physically move our body and then, let's say, remolecularize it in another spot or get there quicker, that is very much happening right now. Now, for us on this perspective, we have a long way to go in terms of operating our technology into that capabilities. However, newsflash, there are beings who do interact with some of the deep state and qualities of Earth, some of it's energetic in the fourth dimension, lower realms, and they are very much using it, and some humans as well too are using time travel devices and teleportation devices on a regular basis, but we're down here and we have no idea it's going on. So yes, you can pick up your body and teleport it somewhere else, or you can travel and move to different time signatures. Now the possibilities are endless in a multiverse, so can't anything really happen? Now, incarnating. So when you die, you leave your body. You continue on in a different form, but your soul, your oversoul and its parts, carries itself through. So, when you incarnate, you pick the right coordinates, you get your astrology chart, boom, bam, longitude, latitude, planetary alignments, you wait for a portal, you enter in, and then you come into conception through the womb. That's your avatar. You die, well, let's go get another one. Doesn't necessarily mean instantly, but at some point, more than likely, we're going to incarnate again, over and over and over. So if we incarnate on Earth, and then we live there for a lifetime or two, and then we incarnate somewhere in the Andromeda galaxy. We're floating around in the ethers, we're picking where we want to incarnate, we're like, oh, that's a good spot at that time. But maybe in relevance to Earth time, that's 1,000 years before that occurred. See where I'm coming from? So then right there, you've just altered time and space right there too. And when you incarnate on another planet, they don't necessarily have the calendars and the clock systems that we use. There may not even be any in the ways that we recognize them, because there is infinite ways to go about this. It's kind of like if you were to turn off your clock for 3 or 4 weeks. Your intuitions would kick in, your natural rhythms would kick in, and you'd be on a completely and totally different flow. Now, if a being incarnates on Earth, let's say, and has multiple lifetimes in a row, but somebody lived on Earth once and lived on another planet for the next 15, they're not going to always enter into the same zones. I also had some insights sent to me from some galactic downloads from the galactic core. Remember, we're in the age of Aquarius, and our planet and our solar system's flying through a photonic band of light that only occurs This is Mayan calendar stuff during Leo and Aquarius axis points. And photonic light makes everything transparent. Hence why all of this knowledge, wisdom, information is coming flying at us on a regular basis. So, as that's occurring, it's reminding ourselves that everything is quantum and that there's so much more to the possibilities of how we can, there's way more to discover about what time warping is really going on when things are occurring. Even some things move faster than time. There is what would be called a sequence of events that do move us and evolve us in that sort of way. I mean, if I'm looking at the clock every 2 seconds while I'm making this video, which I'm not, then time will seem to move slower. If I'm having fun in the moment like I am now, I have no idea what time this is going to end at in the clock. And notice when you're not paying attention to that stuff, the calendar, the clock, all that stuff, notice how that's when, like, say, numerology finds you, like 555 starts flashing at you everywhere you go. It gets your attention in a multitude of different ways. Now, when you etherically travel with your body, your energy bodies leave your system. And they go places for periods of time. Just had a little bird friend land over beside me here. It's behind the camera. And so you're experiencing, different ratios of where that goes. And then your body is staying here. Other times you're literally going with it, but you didn't even realize it because it was so fast you came back. Now every time you sleep, you go out. But sleeping is the same thing as awaken. It's just a different state of the same reality. Where do you go when you sleep? You travel all over the place. You can go anywhere in the cosmos you want. That in itself is any version of time traveling and altering. You'll go and your dreams are very potent and super powerful. So you have a dream about something that may occur in the future to give you some insights, some downloads, and some frequencies to work with in your waking life, because you're in a more receptive state while you're sleeping. So and then when you do that sort of work, it's kind of like a Hawaiian shaman stuff, where you replay an event to change its outcome. Very amazing stuff when you get into that too. Kind of like you hurt your toe, and then you replay the event, and it changes the outcome. Okay, so I talked about your higher self lots. So that's a full completed version of yourself, and it communicates to your body in many ways. Sometimes it's through symbology, ear tones, points in your eyes become fixated, plasma kind of moves, those things become very psychedelic. Other times you feel energy and presence around yourself, or you'll get a sudden insight into your third eye. And whatever the case may be, for whatever sensory activity, some people have lights flashing. Wherever they go, they turn off, they turn on. Super cool stuff. Your higher self, in a lot of cases, is with you now, but also operates as your future completed self. You separated your parts upon birth to become your oversoul in your 144 parts. So, right there, we've just altered time and space. We're natural generators. That's one cool thing about being human. You require more time than create more. If we keep saying to ourselves, I don't have enough time, then you don't. Time is unlimited. And going anywhere in these historical moments are always there. Notice when you walk down the street, you're in a park, you're somewhere, it doesn't matter where on earth. You're like, that looks exactly like 1982 all over again. Because it is. It didn't change. It's like practically identical. It's still being acted out now. It didn't go anywhere. Just your mind perception changed. Now you take animals, plants, and other species that have, different versions of incarnational essences to them. They know an earthquake's coming, so they get up and the animals run up the hill. Oh, boom. The planet's getting really intensely, at times, raped. So they transport themselves to another dimension, waiting for them to come back until we've cleaned up our act, the human equation. Now, abundance on planet Earth is amazing, and no matter what we're doing, things are still working out wonderfully. and we're on an intense adventure. So animals are on their own time sequences. You may incarnate again as another animal. That's your avatar. But regardless, they're moving and changing that sort of time signature. Notice when flies move, insects, they kind of scatter around really fast. It's because they're moving quicker than our eyes can pick up. So there's actually more to the motion, to the frames of reality that are there. You want to pick a place where you can time travel and alter yourself? Go to a sacred site. Go get some downloads and some powerful zones. Record Keeper Ruby as a crystal is and Lemuria Seed Crystal. Those are fantastic ways to start to get in touch with it. As these are new technologies building within inside of us in our DNA, we're just getting ready to unleash the magic. So more is coming. And as far as the technology goes, it's there, it's being used. I wouldn't even be surprised if they're beaming it up to the moon, spending a few days on Saturn, and then ripping over to Mars, okay? Sounds cool, but the question is, what are they doing? Who's they? You'll figure that out for yourself, but there is something going on. Time travel is an amazing, beautiful function, and humans can time travel, yes. And another cool feature that they do is they can go 12 times the speed of light. But we'll talk about that in another video when we go off about the parts of your oversoul and all of your 144 parts. I've touched on them before, but there's a lot of DNA mutations going on right now. So wherever you go and wherever you roam, have the most wonderful time out there. I decided to take a moment today. It's been a couple weeks. I went on a digital detox a little bit, taking a break from the tech. I'm back, doing some posts, and we'll be talking to you all soon. Satnam. Have a fantastic day out there, everyone. Stay connected to your energy. It's what binds the universe together.